All right, jump into it. The S&P 500. You got to really zoom in here. So I know TikTok once called these yellow boxes meaningless, but had you just watched them, we did go from yellow zone to yellow zone. That is actually a wick all the way down there for the mobile users. Dropped all the way down there, bounced at the magic yellow box, and currently right now seeing some sellers there. Again, these are like the areas of attention. This is where if I was looking for a trade, I would take one. Again, I'm in the NASDAQ. I'm not in the ES contract right now. Overall, futures do close for an hour. On the open, it actually gapped back up. Currently gave all that back. I do expect this to be up, but we went sideways forever. Now, I will say the NASDAQ gave more of a hint than anything else, but the Magnificent Seven is probably what drove all of this anyway. It certainly wasn't we can talk about financials right now. Yeah, financials didn't do anything. Now, financials really drove the Russell and I think bled into the S&P, while the NASDAQ was selling off quite a bit ago. We had some amazing days. Not it right here. As far as the S&P goes. Now, these lines I draw every Sunday. So I am live. I'm adding TikTok to the mix. So I'm live on both. But if for some reason I'm not on TikTok, you can see these every Sunday on YouTube at Don Fron Trading. And it's not from FROM. My last name is FRON. So on the YouTube search, Don space from is trending. So there might actually be a change to just DF trading. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But either way, we got outside the expected move. I thought we were a little oversold, so I bought it, nailed the absolute bottom, again, going to the NASDAQ, but we reined it right back in. The important thing again, with these ranges, this is where market makers have their risk basically planned out for the week. This is all the options data, all the trades, everyone's order flow, all priced in. As far as delta hedging goes, they have it figured out up to these levels. Again, it's you and institutions. We get outside these levels, it's you, the institutions, and the market makers. So now instead of delta hedging, they have to rein it back in, or we get ready, get saddled up for that 2 standard deviations. So reined it back in, and right now what's on the table is, do we just bring this thing all the way back up? Was this just a bear trap getting them excited, or are we going to go down to the 2 standard deviations? If we get back outside there, I think the 2 standard deviations would be on the table, and you'll end up seeing that like a vacuum down. It can get pretty volatile right there. Let's see where the S&P was. SPY 2 standard deviations down 570.45. So let's get that out here. All right, so that's 2 standard deviations down. Now, if we got out here again, typically when we get this far, I usually will sell. I like $2 spreads, but I would sell like a put spread for the end of the week. Anytime we get to that 1.5 standard deviation mark, I'm usually selling put spreads or credit spreads, right? So credit to my account, I make money, and I look for the bounce, or at least we kind of stay inside here. 95% chance we stay inside 2 standard deviations anyway, but they're kind of useless, worthless until we get to that level, and then the volatility really ramps up. Jumping into the NASDAQ. I think I probably have to pull up the let's see. I'm trying to pull up exactly what I said and when. Give me one hot second. Try to see when I bought the NASDAQ. Grab QQQ 126. It's 126 my time. It's a central time, real people time. So at 115. Let me bring this into the screen here. Try not to make everybody famous. I don't know if they want to be on here. Can we? It doesn't make the text bigger, huh? It just makes it. I don't know how to make this share on YouTube. I know TikTok can see it. Give me 1 second. Where are we at? Is it? There we go. All right. So just to point out right here why I called this out. So as I'm going long here, 115, 4 hour, we just broke the zone, hoping / playing it ends up in a wick. So let's just make this a little bit bigger for everybody. This is what it looked like. Completely thought we were oversold. Kind of think we'd overdone it. So that's when I went long, seeing that. And I want people to see this because this can be risky. We just completely blasted through there, but we're outside the expected move. We have almost 3 hours left for that candle to end, but those yellow zones are a 4-hour zone, so it matters when that candle actually ends. So I don't think a lot of people really understand how these zones work or how they can use them to your advantage. They're just areas of attention, right? So I plan on things being right. So that's what it looked like when I went long, and I'm just trailing it right now, and that's ultimately what it ended up looking like. Hang on, was that QQQ? No, that was zones. So there we go. Go to the 4-hour. What do you know? Ends up being green. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out. I'll have to find it. I don't like scrolling through the whole chat. I'll show you guys my message. I don't care about that. I don't know if I'm gonna search. I want to say it was right around the same time, but what I had told everybody in the chat today was that we're breaking this horizontal pattern. I want to see around what time so I can show you guys where we were at in the actual chart. Okay, it was at 11. At 11:06. Let's go to 11 o'clock my time. Okay, so right here at this candle, we're making this candle right here. So technically all we have is this. Now I told everybody this horizontal pattern is breaking right now. Because right here, we said we're starting to like squeeze. Here's our horizontal pattern. And I mean it was borderline hilarious because Cody, my admin, he went long, short, and he just went zone to zone, zone to zone. And I even joked, how many times can we say zone to zone in the stream tonight? Right here was just zone to zone, zone to zone, zone to zone. I mean, literally just playing it back. This is the 15-minute time frame, just playing the back and forth game. But I had said we'd made a higher high and a lower low. We're done with this horizontal pattern. And if we bounced right here, I didn't know we were going to sell off. I said, hey, where are my exact words? I'm saying if we bounce at this zone now and it goes to the top, it's going to continue. If we bounce in a lower high and comes down, it's going to continue. Trying to tell everybody this horizontal pattern is toast. These buyers and sellers are no more. Ended up finding out it was toast after all, but right then and there, we didn't really get the bounce until this lower zone down here. So it's important to know these things because that's why someone say, "Oh, that zone didn't work. We blasted right through it." You just don't know what you're doing or what you're looking for. Ultimately, you're looking for buyers and sellers and what's going on at these levels. You have to take the whole kind of story into place. But anyway, that's the moves I made. That's why I'm long. And since I bought it down here, I'm long everything. I'm just long one NASDAQ contract. I even thought about hedging and going like the one cool thing about futures is I'll go long in Q, but if I see like a pullback, maybe I'm long in the 4-hour time frame, but 15 minutes, I think we might pull back. I'll go short, like 5 in Q, the mini contract or the micros, because those won't actually affect each other, and it's kind of a good way to just play the multiple time frames. I'm not anything like that, but I am curious right now if this zone's going to reject, and then we come down further. Personally, I don't think that's the case. I think the NASDAQ will end up being up. We get the bears excited, shakes everybody out. But the thumbnail is not clickbait. I do think a crash is coming. So there's a video hopefully coming out. I want to talk to a couple other even YouTubers I think need some attention. Um, Talk to them about a crash, hedging, what you can do to prepare. We know what I'm gonna do, but as a trader, I'll play that trend, and there's many ways to trade it on the way down. But as far as like you have a portfolio, you just don't. There's shares you're just not gonna let go. You don't have to just ride it all the way down and get absolutely wrecked. There's a lot of things you can do to. I don't want to say save face because ultimately you're gonna ride it down and back up, assuming what you picked does come back up, which is a very big assumption. I don't think a lot of people take into consideration. And then it never comes back up, and then just sucks. XLU looking good. Yeah, what is XLU doing real quick? Huh. Most of you guys, if you're not in my group or you're not on like the Patreon following the plays, because I do post everything that I do, and for the last 2 years, there's been 4 losses. That's it. Up thousands, down a couple hundred on those losses. Now I bought XLU, it was 81.50, something like that. And my chat could not wait to roast me that night and tell me how it was going to be red the next day. Now I bought it right here. So the next day, what I bought? Oh, I bought it right here. I bought the dip right here. The next day, it was technically red by a few pennies, and then today it's green. And I did post a screenshot for this. What do you know about that? I just happened to catch this. TikTok can't see it. That's XLU at the top. The one green ticker, everything else is red. That's right. Get wrecked. That's why you guys aren't making the videos. I just couldn't wait to make fun of my chat for that. Because, man, they were going hard. Anyway, I wanted to be something outside of tech, again, because we are in tech. We have a lot of NVIDIA right now, and it's doing well. But I want to have something not tech because I do think things are about to pull back. And I just want to have a little bit different exposure in there. All right, jumping back into the stream real quick. As far as the NASDAQ, we went right down to the expected move. Again, reined it in. Coincidentally bounced on this trend line. Trend lines are not something I play. Again, this is my homework. I have all the screen and the real estate of my monitors. And when I'm on my phone later, that's all I can see. So I know, like, hey, we're making higher lows along this path. I'm not waiting to buy right there on that trend or anything like that. But it did bounce off that. It ain't over till it's over. We have time to be right. Well, worst case scenario, it'll be my 5th loss in 2 years. That's gonna suck though. But no, we're gonna be all right on that one. As far as the Russell goes, I said I'd rather wait to go short up here. I don't know if there really is a Russell play right now. If anything, you'd have to go long for an oversold bounce, and you'd watch out for that zone. If you're going to go long Russell futures, you should have already probably caught that knife right here, because going long, putting a stop way down here, just for a take profit right up here, I don't know. It might just take. You're going to put your stop down here because that's kind of where you'd have to as far as like risk management goes. But it's just going to take longer to tag out. Let's see. Save was amazing today. We were in last week at $1.40.